What's up, everybody? I hope everyone's doing absolutely fantastic out there. Finally, winter is here. Thank goodness, because the mosquitoes were fucking killing me in those other videos. Today, y'all, we're gonna be going over the CRJB Ruffian, and if that is something you are into, stick around for the rest of the video, y'all. Let's go. So finally, winter is here. Winter is not coming, it is officially here. So thank goodness for that. I actually love the beginning stages, the beginning days, weeks into winter, because it's just that perfect coolness. You can shut off the AC depending on where you live. In part of the country, it can be absolutely devastatingly cold, of course, but here in Texas, it is just perfect. So I'm not the weatherman, but thought I'd give you a little update on that. Anyways, y'all, I absolutely love this knife, and I'm really excited to share it with y'all. This is the CJRB Ruffian, and this is my first CJRB knife. And these knives are under the Artisan Cutlery umbrella. There are so many different model knives out there, especially on Amazon. If you click on one, you'll get that feed that comes up with that big sheep's foot blade. But this is the CJRB Ruffian. Now this Ruffian right here is obviously in all black with that red on the pivot screw there. Love this Wharncliffe style blade, and as y'all know, I absolutely love Wharncliffe blades and Persians. Those are some of my favorite style blades that I preferred out there. So y'all, this knife just is absolutely fantastic, okay? And spoiler, I can never say that right. Spoiler alert, this right here is a 10 out of 10 for me. And there's like maybe one thing I would change on this knife, but you know, not the big deal. And we'll get into that for sure. Y'all, it has that finger flick quality on this knife here. I mean, and I cannot flick knives to save my life. If somebody was like, your life depends on flicking out these knives or any knives out there, I'm terrible at it. But this one, I look like a fucking expert, right? Look at that. Flicks out just beautifully. Absolutely beautiful. So if you're like handicapped in terms of flicking out knives, look no further. You're gonna be able to flick with this knife right here. Really great action on it. It is actually the perfect length as well. It's really not a large knife at all. It's very EDC knife. Now, I have been carrying this at work. I do think for my job, it is a little large of blade for me to carry it in the office space, but I have been carrying it, and of course, using discretion, because if you pop this thing out in the office, the blade looks a little wicked, you know, we'll call them to the non-knife carrying people out there. This looks a little wicked, even though it's just standard. This is just a standard size knife. The blade is like, I think on this, I'll flash to the screen so we have the specs. It's about, you know, I think 3 or 2.78 inches on the knife. I think the overall length is like 6 or 7, but of course we have the specs on the screen for y'all to look at, because these videos are just designed to give you quick information, my thoughts, my opinions, my rants, my raves, and all that good stuff. Anyways, y'all, CJRB Ruffian. I always want to say CRJB, 3PPO, 3CPO, 3PPO. CJRB Ruffian knife in my hand, because where else would it be except in my hand or in my pocket. This just got some great jimping right here. Up on the blade, of course. It's got that really nice. I can get 4 fingers on there, so that 4-finger choke up on it. Nice slicing capabilities, and I have eradicated a lot of cardboard boxes since I bought this knife. And we're talking some of that thick, heavy-duty cardboard. Not that cheap Amazon cardboard, because anything can rip through those, but that really thick, industrial grade cardboard. This knife goes just right through it. Wharncliffe blade, as I said earlier, they're calling it a like drop point style blade on the actual website or on Amazon. You have 4-position pocket clip. Just absolutely fantastic. Way to think ahead. And let me tell you, I have some more expensive knives and they don't even have the 4-position pocket carry clip on their knives. And this knife is like $30-ish landed at my door. Now, I found this knife just like I find a lot of other knives out there, that I'm sure that other people that are watching this find knives the same way. You're on YouTube, you see somebody reviewing, you know, top, you know, 10 knives under $40 or whatever, and this just happened to be one of them. So, I mean, this was just fantastic discovery, and anyone that is looking to get another EDC knife in their collection, look no further. You have the Ruffian right here. Deep carry pocket clip on this knife, fantastic. You know how much I love a deep carry pocket clip. I can't even tell this knife is on me. It's got a nice slim profile on it, really slicey blade, has that liner lock. Like I said before, finger flick quality all day long. You can just sit at your desk or in your chair and just flick this all day long. I found myself fidgeting with this knife constantly because it's just a fantastic knife. And most of the time, y'all, as you know, I always carry that Raptor off the clock. I have been carrying this since I bought it, and the Raptor's just sitting upstairs saying, hey, come back to me when you're coming back. But this has just been a really great buy and find. I really dig this knife. Want to shout out Dirk Pinkerton because he is the designer of this knife and other knives out there as well. There's a large version kind of this knife. This is the in the same CJRB knife brands, so he's doing a lot of design work. Plus, you know, he has his own custom knives as well. I've seen a lot of his knives coming up with, you know, in that Tactical Knife magazine and Knives Illustrated. Great designer, and this is a fantastic design under Dirk Pinkerton, CJRB. So y'all, finger flick quality, as I said earlier, just fantastic. You can get this knife with the you know, stainless steel look to it, with the violet scales on it. Excuse me, not violet colored handle. So if you're into that, I think I also do it in black and violet, but we'll have it on the screen so you can see the various designs and color schemes that would fit your style, your personality. If you're into that whole violet color design, I have a knife that has that kind of funky colors too. So what? Who cares? You're rad. So there's a few knives that I'm gonna show this knife against, just to kind of show and tell, you know, size-wise, so you can get a kind of an overview of some, you know, popular knives and some knives that I've reviewed on this channel. Check them out if you haven't seen those videos. Here's the Ruffian. Here is the Auto Striker by Benchmade. Still has that same type of, you know, this is a reverse Tonto. This is, of course, the Wharncliffe-ish style blade right here with the Ruffian. So you have that as an example. And here is the Gerber Pledge, the infamous Pledge that cut the shit out of my finger doing the review on it. Awesome budget knife right here, y'all. Throw this in your collection too. Great little budget carry knife. But then you have this is your, you know, Wharncliffe style blade with another style Wharncliffe. So you have that. And here is the Spyderco Para 2 Emerson. And like I said before, I absolutely suck at the Spidey flick. I'm just absolutely horrible at it. But I'm gonna try to get it with this. But this Emerson, you don't really have to be cool with the Spidey flick because it just deploys right out of your pocket. I'm gonna do a review on this knife for sure, but everyone has one of these in their collection for sure. So let's see if I can get it. I have to give it that wrist flick on there. But there is your Spyderco Para 2. Of course, this is a much larger, chunkier style knife. But there is your Para 2 with the Ruffian. Let's see if I can flick it one more time, just for the camera. Here we go. Come on, baby. Oh, see, I can't get it. Let's get it. Got it. It's terrible at it. But I'm not terrible with the Ruffian, so that makes up for it. So y'all, CJRB Ruffian in my hand. Beautiful knife. Absolutely fantastic. It's lightweight, deep carry pocket clip for position, to position the pocket clip however you would like. Absolutely beautiful there. Slim profile, got the liner lock on it. Of course, I have the all black tactical-esque looking knife with the red on the pivot screw there. Beautiful Wharncliffe blade. If they're not calling it a Wharncliffe blade on they're on the specs and such, you're calling it a drop point, but I'm just gonna call it a Wharncliffe blade because it sure as shit looks like one. This thing eradicates cardboard boxes like no other. Really great precision cutting as well. I had to cut something precisely, and this just did a fantastic job. As you can see, I have been using this knife. I do use my knives. Got some of that tape residue and scuffing up on the knives, because if you're not using your knives, y'all, what is the point? Okay, there are some that you can just ooh-ah over and never use them, but I use the knives that I buy. This knife, y'all, is just absolutely fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about this knife. CJRB Ruffian, once again, just have to say it just so I don't fuck up the the wording of the CJRB, and sometimes Y. Absolutely love the pocket clip, deep carry pocket clip. You can't even tell this knife is on you. I love this knife. This knife for me, honestly, is a 10 out of 10. Just a 10 out of 10. The only thing I would change on this knife is the obvious. I would definitely have a flipper tab on this knife, or make a flipper tab version of this knife, because if you sucked at finger flicking, you can still go right there, because if you can't finger flick, then you have to go the old school boring way, manually deploy, either that way or you go Boy Scout and then do your cutting tasks or whatever's necessary. Absolutely great EDC knife, and of course any knife can be used as secondary self-defense knife in your worst case scenario. This thing right here is definitely a good self-defense knife. It has that good sharp tip on it, piercing power, just absolutely slicey and a piercy style knife with that Wharncliffe blade on this knife. I stuck this knife through a huge, it was a large box that had styrofoam in it, and this thing went all the way through, no problem whatsoever. Didn't mess up the tip, didn't do anything to it whatsoever, just scuffed up the blade. And to be honest with you, I don't really care about that, because I use my knives for everyday tasks, EDC as we say, right? I use this knife for everything. You know, since I bought it, I use it for everything. So absolutely fantastic knife, 10 out of 10. CJRB Ruffian, Dirk Pinkerton design. You can get these in a couple different flavors. They are on Amazon, so if you want to buy it right now, it may be there at your house tomorrow or the next day, so you can get that instant gratification pretty damn quickly. But I highly recommend, and the holidays are coming up, y'all, buy this knife for your loved one who's into gear. They are not going to be disappointed whatsoever. This is a fantastic knife. It rides beautiful in the pocket. Great knife. So go buy this knife right now. And y'all, if you like the content on this channel, y'all, definitely subscribe, comment, like, all those good things. If you don't want to comment, you don't want to like, just subscribe so you can keep seeing this gear here, and I can keep on putting it out. But once again, my name is Ace with Carolina Cutlery and Gear. If you're liking what you're seeing, once again, subscribe. Don't forget to smile. Make somebody else smile too. And I'll see you in the next video, y'all. Stay warm.